I'm Lisa McCoy. I'm registered dietitian with the University of Maryland Extension, and I'm here today to talk about how to organize your pantry. Now, whether you have a pantry that you walk in and have lots of room on your shelves, or if you just have designated shelves in your kitchen cupboards that is considered your pantry, it doesn't matter. But organizing it is really critical to get the most use out of that space. And we can be organized and it starts out looking great, but over time it somehow gets to be kind of jumbled. So I have 5 steps that you can take to try to organize that pantry a little bit better. So the first thing is you're going to need to take everything out of the pantry. So you need to empty all the shelves. And I suggest you have like a table or two if you have a kitchen table or a dining room table, or you can set up a folding table to put everything out on the table. And as you're taking things out of that pantry, look at the date to see if there's an expiration date on that item. And if there is, if it's close to there or if it's way past, because sometimes, let me explain like what different dates are. One date you'll see is an expiration date. So that means that food is no longer good after that date. You'll find that more in foods that are like in cold storage, not pantry items. Pantry items, many times you'll find an item, a label that will say best if used by. So what that means is for the optimum freshness and flavor, you should use that item by that date. However, it does not mean that it's not good anymore. I usually tell people if you have like a cake mix and it's six months past, it probably is still good. Now, if you have something that a canned good or a boxed good that's like a couple years past that best if used by date, I'd probably just throw it out. And another thing to be aware of is I've noticed sometimes I buy like almonds and things in a bigger container than what I can use. And they actually do get like a rancid odor and flavor to them over time because of the oil that's in those nuts. So you may have to like get rid of some of those other items that have gone bad. But just look at those dates as you're taking them out and just discard them or identify which ones need to be used first. And then once you have everything out of your pantry, then I want you to kind of group them together. So when I say group them together, it can be based on what your preference is. It could be that you're going to have dinner items, you're going to have snacks, you're going to have breakfast items together, or I like to do it like, okay, these are all of my vegetables, these are my soups, these are my fruits, these are my snack items, these are my rice and noodles. So whatever works best for you, try to group them together on the table. Now once you have them grouped together, now it's time to kind of put them back in, but figure out how's the best way to store them. And I would recommend that maybe you get some baskets or little plastic bins. You can get colorful decorative bins, you can get some fabric bins, or you can get some clear plastic bins that you can use to put things together. Some things you don't even need to put in there, but I'm thinking if you have like some bags of snack items, it might be good to put them in a basket that they're all there together. And so it's easier just to pull that bin out and look to see what you want to get out of it. Especially if it's not just you, but you have other people that come and get things out of your pantry, it's good if you have them. So that leads us to the next step, which is label those bins. So if you have someone else who's coming and they're going to put your groceries away for you, which would be really nice, or they're getting something out and they want to know where to put it back, you have a label to say where that item goes. So you have a label for fruits, you have a label for snacks. And so you label those bins or baskets or whatever you have. And think about it when you're putting those back in, especially like your canned foods, is put them like what I call is the FIFO system. First in, first out. So when you go to the grocery store and you buy some new soup, then you want to put that soup behind the ones that are there. So you use the oldest soup first, and that avoids having food that is wasted because it got stuck all the way back behind the other items, and then you find it 2 or 3 years later and you forgot you even had that. So it helps to do that. And the last thing is just to kind of keep track and maintain this system. Like every 3 to 4 months, just kind of look through, and maybe you just want to do one category at a time so it's not as labor intensive, but maybe just go through one category a week and just go through and say, hey, let's look at this. Is there anything expired? Do I need to use something within the next month? Or the other thing is maybe you'll find that that one system you had, that category, just isn't working right and you need to change it. Or maybe you need a basket for something. Another good item to use when you're putting them back in together is using those turntables. You've seen those little turntables you can get at the dollar store, and putting like your spices maybe on that, or your salad dressing, so they're easy to spin around and find what you're looking for, but they take up less space and they're easier to find things. So try to use these tips. I know, like beside the refrigerator, this pantry is probably one of the most used and frequented area in your kitchen. So not only by you, but by yourself. And this will help to keep it more organized and easier to find things when you're going there to try to make something for meals and for snacks. Thank you.